Ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker and its teaser trailer, a lot of people were very excited of what they saw, not just with Rey, Poe, Finn, and Kylo Ren, but also with hearing Emperor Palpatine's voice at the very end of the footage. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about this movie that a lot of people are really looking forward to seeing is, of course, exactly how JJ is going to use the characters of Kylo Ren, Rey, Poe, Finn, of course, within the second and third acts of the movie, which is where a majority of the action-packed sequences will take place. Now, these past couple of weeks ago, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to various concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intriguing. Now, specifically, shot descriptions consisting of Rey wielding the Skywalker lightsaber ignited in the air, while leading an entire army of Resistance fighters, ordering them to charge toward the First Order headquarters. It's described that the Resistance fighters and others from around the galaxy follow in Rey, Finn, and Poe Dameron's path for the sequence that is said to be heavily inspired from Lord of the Rings. Another goes over Kylo Ren using the Force and throwing Resistance soldiers and Maz Kanata's pirates against trees and rocks in the woods, while also using his crossguard lightsaber to finish them off while they are on the ground. It's said to be a sequence that shows how ruthless Kylo Ren is in the movie by JJ. The next describes Rey flying in the air due to a nearby explosion from one of the First Order turrets on the main building that was aiming close to her. It's described that as she is in mid-air, her lightsaber is still ignited in her hand, where she eventually uses it in order to stab into the ground once she lands. Lastly, a description of Rey, Poe, and Finn working together on the battlefield, where they are invading the First Order trenches, and using that as a way to invade the stormtroopers, and it's said that Rey uses her blaster that Han gave her in The Force Awakens against the stormtroopers in the trenches in Episode 9. So I want to go over a couple of parts about all of this and as to why I find it to be a very interesting sequence within the third act of the film. Now, in case you guys did not know, there is going to be a major land battle in Episode 9, and I believe we got a little glimpse of this in, of course, The Rise of Skywalker's teaser trailer, when we do get to see Kylo Ren running through the woods. Now, like I say, what's really intriguing about all of this is the first piece, where we have both Rey, Finn, and Poe Dameron leading an entire army of Resistance fighters and pirates. Now, in case you guys did not know, the pirates are actually associated with Maz Kanata. We're actually going to see Maz Kanata's little gang, or her little army, if you will, and how they actually fall into place in the Star Wars Episode 9 plot of the film. So, they're following not just in Rey's path, but also in the path of Finn and Poe Dameron. We do know that Finn is actually higher in the ranks of the Resistance, and that Poe Dameron is most likely going to take over as General Dameron in this movie, taking over the role of course, General from General Leia. So, that sequence, it sounds like that they are trying to do something in order to honor the new trio in this movie. And with that being said, the thing that I think about the most here is how this actual sequence is described to be based off of and or inspired from Lord of the Rings, in terms of scale and in terms of how action-packed and heavy it's really going to be. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys think about this in a negative way or a positive way, but what do you think about Lord of the Rings being an inspiration for, of course, Star Wars Episode 9? Is that a good or a bad path to go? Moving on, what really does interest me the most, though, is the description of Kylo Ren running through the woods, pretty much using the Force against Resistance fighters and also pirates, throwing them against trees and rocks and finishing them off while they're actually unconscious on the ground, using his lightsaber and killing them off instantaneously. So, what I like here about Kylo Ren is that they're trying to really make him a very evil character in this movie than what we ever got before. And I think that's something that a lot of fans have really wanted to see in this movie, is to see exactly how powerful and evil Kylo Ren can really be in the first and second act of the film. Now, we do know this, alright? We do know that Kylo Ren is going to be a whole lot more powerful in this movie than how he was in The Last Jedi. It's roughly 1 year after the events of the last film, and so J.J. Abrams, we do know that he is taking Kylo Ren in a different direction, and is going to make him more of a Darth Vader-esque figure. So the last piece that I do want to go over that really does intrigue me a lot, and it's a very interesting move by Rey, is a nearby explosion causes her to launch in mid-air, where she eventually lands on the ground and stabs the Anakin Skywalker lightsaber while it's ignited into the ground in a fit of rage. So what's interesting about this is that we've seen something similar in the Old Republic cutscenes from the video game. We've seen something like that from Darth Malgus to other characters as well. And the thing I like about this is it shows the character's emotion through the use of the lightsaber. So what do you guys think about all these different sequences for Episode 9 within the third act of the film? And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.